Welcome to the Casual EAL. My name is Randomonium. I'm here with ZZ Dog. Today we've got an exciting matchup in the Shuriman division between the Dandelion Knights and Kamikaze Penguins. So ZZ Dog, what do you think is going to happen in this matchup, and what do you think is on the line?
Okay, well, I definitely expect it to be a mid-centric matchup. Mansford and Eustariel are probably two of the three best mids. I think Mansford's probably number one, and Eustariel's really fighting for that spot. So I expect there to be a lot of mid lane focus, and this is a really important matchup
Mm-hmm.
because we have Ravenous Kumquats, or not Ravenous Kumquats, sorry, Kamikaze Penguins, is at 3 and 5, and TDK is at 5 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So if Kamikaze Penguins 2-0s here, they'll tie the wins for TDK with another match to go. And both of them are fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot. So if KP manages to take this one home, then TDK is almost certainly knocked out. Whereas if they go 1-1, there's a situation where we'll get a tiebreaker between them. So
Yeah,
interesting.
so it looks like if Dandelion Knights is able to 2-0, they will officially eliminate Kamikaze Penguins from the ability to get playoffs. And also, Dandelion Knights would tie with third with Ravenous Kumquats. If it's 1-1, that's when things get a bit spicier. And then, yeah, as you said, if Kamikaze Penguins is able to 2-0, then that puts them in a great position to steal that fourth spot at the end of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Kamikaze Penguins manages to 2-0 this, and then they go on to 2-0 GBM, then they will have the tiebreaker against Ravenous Kumquats for third. So there's
That's
a lot
very
of
true.
tiebreakers that we can have.
Yes. So there is a possibility that KP could take the third spot if they're able to basically go undefeated over the next 5 games. So yeah, I definitely do agree with you that I think that mid lane is going to be a huge focus. I'm really looking for that mid jungle synergy. And I think whichever team is able to unlock that mid laner and allow them to roam faster is going to be probably be the deciding factor in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
What's really interesting is that TDK this match is going to be subbing in Lucky Maverick in top lane, but Lucky Maverick doesn't play a lot of top lane. He's primarily a jungler. So I'm actually curious um, if they're actually going to put him in top lane. They have him lined up in the top lane role, but I'm kind of wondering if there might be some shenanigans and he might move into a different position.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you look at his solo queue, he has been playing a little bit of top lane. He's played Lucian top and Nocturne top. So not really like the traditional top laners you would look for. However, they
Yeah.
have Cameron Beats as their support, who plays top lane in solo queue.
Hmm.
And they have Mystic Wave in jungle, who I believe was a support last season.
He was a clip to
So
support last season. Yep.
yeah, so they very well could just shift everything around and then have people on their normal starting positions in solo queue. So it'll be an
Yeah.
interesting one to see. But I think we
Yeah,
should
I'm
probably get
definitely
into draft here pretty
curious.
soon.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see if they're going to keep Lucky Maverick in that top lane or if they're going to try to move him somewhere else. As far as on the side of on the side of Kamikaze Penguins, that mid jungle synergy is pretty strong. Always going to game and Mansford are kind of the two highest ranked people on their team. I think that Ystriel has done really, really well as a mid laner. Mystic Wave, it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep pace with Always Going to Game because Always Going to Game tends to be more aggressive. Mystic Wave tends to be more farming and counter ganking style.
Yeah, it's really hard to play against Always Gonna Game from my experience. He's definitely probably I don't know if he's the most aggressive, but he's one of the most aggressive jungles in the league.
Mm-hmm. So already coming out, we've got a Rammus band coming out from TDK. Their top laner on the side of Kamikaze Ping has actually played at Rammus top lane into certain matchups.
Yeah, it was specifically into Urgot against Delicious Stadios,
Yep.
I believe. So, I mean, their jungle also plays Rammus in solo queue, so I would expect it to go jungle if they were allowed to get it, which obviously they can't now. But
We've got the Caitlyn and the Draven bands. So Eclipse on the side of TDK used to be like a Draven one trick. His name used to be Draven. So the Draven band is probably a good one. And then on the side of Kamikaze Penguins, Asuv has been playing Caitlyn. I think he played Caitlyn 5 out of the 8 games. So that Caitlyn ban is definitely a good one. They're currently hovering the Silas ban. I don't know if it's worthy of a ban now after the World's nerf.
I mean,
It
it
looks like
has
they're gonna lock
been
it in. Okay.
it was nerfed really hard. They did revert the armor changes in a micro patch, so it's only the wave clear that got hit. So it's not quite as big as we originally thought it was going to be, but it's still a really big nerf. But Mansberg is a very, very good Silas, so I
Mhm.
still think the respect ban is deserved.
So I think the Corki priority is going to be pretty high in this mid lane. I know that Ystriel also plays a lot of AD carries in mid lane. There's the Jinx ban that's actually targeting the mid Jinx that he's played because Eclipse doesn't play a lot of Jinx. I expect Eclipse to go more towards the Kai'Sa. He's been favoring that a lot in his most recent games.
Yeah, I also saw that he's been playing a lot of Twitch and solo queue, so that might be another one of those late game hyper carries that they'd like to go towards.
Mm-hmm. But the
The
Ashe
Ash.
instead, interesting. Most likely a bot lane Ashe, but we have seen a lot of mid lane marksmen coming out on the side of TDK.
Yeah, I could see it going either way because you do have that like CDR Ash build that a lot of people like to go, and I think that that lends itself well to mid lane as well as bot. So I could see it being a flex. I don't know exactly how much Ystriel plays it though. I haven't seen any of it on
Yeah,
his
I haven't seen
match
it
history.
either. Yeah. The Sivir counter response, so spell shield for the arrow. I think that's definitely a good counter pick. I think they're assuming that it's going to go the bot lane. And I'd assume either a jungle or a support pickup here in the second slot.
Maybe the
Oh, prioritizing
Nasus.
the Nasus. So yeah, their top laner has played Nasus 3 times already. So this will be his 4th time playing Nasus. So it looks like they're definitely trying to see if they've got a counter in the top lane for the Nasus prepared. Because they tend to like to leave top lane on an island and just let that Nasus stack up.
What? Interesting.
Ooh.
I would have went with the Kennen here. Their top lane plays a lot of Kennen in solo queue. I think it's a better counter matchup. But Kled also is really good into Nasus. You can really get up into his face and stop that healing. Diana, I believe, is jungle. Mystic Wave has been playing a ton of Diana jungle.
Yeah, and that actually would play pretty well into his style because he tends to like to farm a lot. Diana's not as a jungler, wants to wait till level 6 before she really starts impacting the map and then starts snowballing out of control. So I think that's actually probably a good pick. Oh, and the Mumu coming in on the side of Kamikaze Penguins. This is Always Gonna Games' most played champion. He's got over 100 games on a Mumu this season alone. His next most played was Volibear at only 29 games.
Yeah, and Amumu gives KP a lot of engage potential, and they are like probably along with Delicious Daddios the most fiesta-y team fight type of team that we have in this league.
Mhm.
So Amumu really enables that play style.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going for that 4v4 style. Leave Nasus in the side lane, just let him stack up, and then eventually bring him down to for those 5v5 team fights. And that actually pairs pretty well with the Sivir because she can basically speed up the Nasus, allow him to get in range of that Wither.
Yeah, it looks like they are thinking the Ashe is bot lane because we're seeing the Tristana mid ban.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like they've sniffed out that the Diana is most likely a jungle as well. So definitely have done their homework on the scouting to try and figure that out. Let's see what the last ban is going to be. The Thresh. So banning out Cameron's Thresh. I think that makes sense with the Morgana ban because typically you want to pick the Morgana to potentially into the Thresh. So good ban there. Final ban commit is the Vigar. Interesting. I'm
Yeah,
surprised that
Mansford.
that's coming out as opposed to like the Corki or the Syndra.
Well, the thing with Veigar is really good if you want to do those 5v5 type of compositions because Veigar stuffs engage really hard. Like,
That's true.
if Kled or Diana, both of their engage counts as dashes, not blinks. So
Mhm.
they can be stopped mid dash by Veigar and then just jumped upon. So I understand the Veigar concern there. That's one that we usually tend to levy towards KP as well.
Yep. Yeah, he does. He has had a few games on it. And then Nami. So they're definitely going for lots of speed ups because the Nami ultimate also speeds up her team, combined with a Sivir ultimate. So this looks like it's just basically a run at you 5v5 comp so far.
I think KP is actually looking to disengage and then re-engage more so than they're looking to engage themselves. Because if you're looking at TDK, you have Diana, Kled, Zyra, Ashe. That's a lot of engage.
That's true.
But
That is true.
but then on KP you have excuse me, you have Sivir, Nami, Amumu, all of which are good at just running away and just throwing out that Nami wave to stop the engage and then going back in with the Amumu after the fact. I would expect them to do something more along those lines than look to start fights themselves.
The Zyra coming out for TDK, and ooh, the Quinn. Wow, is that it? Could be an Ashe mid Quinn bot or Quinn mid Ashe bot.
We haven't seen a lot of Quinn at Worlds. It's been
Yeah.
very, very strong in play-ins. Spoilers to anyone who hasn't watched them yet. There was a game where Quinn was picked into Renekton. I won't say which game. And the Renekton at the end of this like 40-minute game did 1,500 damage.
Yeah, I'm really curious who's going mid in this team composition. Is this a Quinn mid, or is it a Quinn top to try and punish the Nasus?
Someone in chat saying Quinn jungle and that he mains it. I didn't see any of that. I'd be surprised if it was Quinn jungle.
Yeah, I have seen it a few times. But I thought that Mystic Wave was prioritizing the Diana jungle more than their mid lane Diana.
I mean, maybe if they're shifting things around, it could be a Diana top, and then Maverick is playing the Quinn in the jungle.
I hope it's not a Diana top, because Diana would get destroyed against the Nasus, I feel. I mean, I'm not an expert on that matchup, but anytime I've played Diana into Nasus, I've gotten destroyed.
I mean, Diana into Nasus, from my experience, you like win level 6, but anytime after that, it's kind of doomed. Like, you very, very swiftly get outscaled.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of would like to see the matchups go Ashe top lane, Diana mid. Personally, but no, not sorry. Yeah, well, actually, yes, because Quinn Zyra would be a really strong bully lane into the Nami Sivir. Then you have Ashe top, who has a favorable matchup into Nasus, and Diana can lane fine against Syndra. But then you're left with Kled jungle, which isn't very good, though. There's a lot of flex picks here, though, so it's hard to tell where anything's going.
So Lucky Maverick locked into Kled. So it looks like it's most likely a Kled top lane.
I'm expecting it to be the Diana jungle, then. Wait for it. Yeah,
it is the Diana jungle. Yep. So it looks like
which ADC's mid lane?
Yep, Quinn mid lane. Okay.
Okay, so everything went to chalk then. It's pretty much what you would expect it.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so yeah, this puts a huge priority on mid lane. If you can unlock that Quinn, oh my goodness, she can just terrorize both top lane and bot lane with how fast she is.
Ashe Zyra should always have prio in that bot lane. That's the traditional bully lane of old from like 2016 Worlds.
Yep.
Zyra is obviously very harassy sort of mage in the bot lane, but Ashe has more range than most AD carries, so can also join in on the party of just making the enemy ADC's day an awful experience.
Yeah, Sivir definitely will outscale, but Ashe definitely, I think, has the priority in laning phase.
I think that the Quinn Syndra matchup is probably Syndra favored unless there's jungle interference, which there shouldn't be early because Diana can't really gank that lane unless Syndra's incredibly overextended.
Mm-hmm.
So that one should go towards KP prio-wise, and then top lane, Kled should beat Nasus, so you have winning side lanes for TDK, and KP has the winning center of the map. So hopefully Mansford can get quick prio and look to roam to help his side lanes.
Yeah, it's hard to roam with a Syndra, though, unless you're trying to prioritize an early boots, too.
I think early Sorks is actually really good on Syndra. Like, having that pen for your first level 6 ultimate is super good.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So yeah, looks like those are the matchups. So we have Kled into Nasus, Diana into Amumu, Quinn into Syndra, Ashe into Sivir, and Zyra into Nami. I think I definitely agree with you. It looks like top lane and bot lane are going to be TDK favored. Mid lane looks like it's going to most likely be KP favored. And Amumu definitely has the ability to gank sooner than the Diana does. Even though Amumu, he can gank level 3, but it's really not until level 6 where he starts getting really scary. So yeah, that's going to be a really interesting to see if Always Gonna Game can get those early ganks off before the Diana hits level 6.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Mansberg also likes to roam with Always Gonna Game. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be completely surprised if Mansberg just went for the early shove and just looked to roam and do an early 4-man. I think if you're doing that, you're probably looking bot lane. It's hard to gank the Kled early, especially if he has Flash and E. Plus he
Yep.
has the dismount to get out of any excess damage. So it would probably be a gank bot lane, especially seeing as Ashe and Zyra are both very immobile.
Yeah, the downside of that though is that the Kled and the Quinn can roam to bot lane very fast. So if they don't time it correctly, they could actually get 4-man or 5-man before they're able to execute it.
I mean, this is also true. The Quinn is probably not going to leave mid until 6, though. Or at
True.
least she shouldn't be able to, because she should never have the shove against a Syndra,
Mm-hmm.
and she also can't really move swiftly without her ultimate.
Yeah.
Plus, she isn't running TP; she's running Ignite. So if Syndra roams first, they should get a kill guaranteed. I would think. Especially if you have a Mumu there, a Mumu, Syndra, Nami. That's so much crowd control. Even if it's
Yeah, if you
flash
hit
down of
one,
one,
yeah, you hit one CC, then yeah, somebody's going down for sure.
that's like good 6 seconds worth of CC on like level 3.
Mm-hmm.
Would you expect to see a level 1 this game?
I think level 1 is potentially stronger on the side of TDK. They've got the Ash slow. They could have the Zyra root. They could have the Quinn blind, which could affect multiple people. Diana's not great level 1. And then Kled could have his bear trap on a rope to basically pull somebody back. So yeah, level 1 is definitely a possibility. I think that TDK probably has a stronger level 1 than KP.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Nasus level 1 is okay. Amumu doesn't want to start anything but E or W. Starting Q isn't very good first clear.
Mm-hmm.
Syndra's always going to start Q. Sivir is probably starting Q or W, depending on how she wants to go about clearing waves. And Nami doesn't want to start her Q for CC either. So you're not
Yeah.
really looking at any CC whatsoever for Kamikaze Penguins, though they are a very scrappy team, so they might still just say screw it and go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like we are done with the spectator delay, though, finally, so should get into it and see.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how the sub for TDK is going to match up into top lane because he does not play a lot of top lane. But Kled into Nasus should be a Kled favored matchup. If Kled can smash early, then eventually Nasus will outscale, but Kled can turn absolutely terrifying if he gets a few kills early on.
All right, so looking at the fashion contest, looks like Kamikaze Penguins is going for the quantity over quality route, whereas TDK has Dark Waters Diana and Championship Ash, which are both great.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. It's kind of a coin flip for me on that one.
I don't know. I like the Infernal Amumu and the Pizza Delivery Sivir. That's pretty nice.
Well, obviously, Pizza Delivery Sivir is like top tier, but like the Nasus one, I almost think base skin is better. Like that's gross. What are you doing? Uh,
Well, when you get the ultimate, you go Super Saiyan, though. That's definitely a nice benefit of that skin.
okay, but like, why do that when you could go like the Inferno Nasus and have
Because that one's
jukeboxes?
way more expensive. This is like budget Infernal.
Okay, but like, well, if you want budget, then why aren't you going like the April Fool's one? That's like the second best one, and that's
That's
even
true.
less
That's true.
expensive.
That's true. Maybe he got it out of a chest. You never know.
Then he just needs to roll better on the RNG there.
Yeah.
How dare he roll so poorly? Looks like KP is pinging a 5-point.
Yeah. KP is definitely pinging the 5-point. We've got kind of that a little bit of a stack coming out of the side of TDK. So it looks like they might be trying to go for this, go into the river and then swoop around, and it kind of obscures the vision if you hug that wall going into blue buff.
Yeah, they should still
Invade
be.
coming in on the side of KP. They got the ward down on the blue buff. So they have to know that an invade is most likely coming if nobody was there and they were able to get that ward down on blue buff.
Yeah, it's usually pretty suspect if you go into a 5-point and don't see anyone on the map whatsoever. It's
Yep.
a pretty clear giveaway that some shenanigans are amiss. All right. Looks like both jungles are starting bot side.
Yep, both jungles starting bot side. I actually prefer the you can actually do a leashless start with a Mumu. You start Raptors and start with your E, and you can hide your jungle route and allow your both of your laners to get lane priority faster. But it looks like they're going to start with the blue start for a Mumu.
I definitely prefer at least a red side start for a Mumu because you want to get your level 3 as fast as humanly possible on a Mumu for those early ganks because your early ganks are so strong.
Yeah.
Okay, he is foregoing the Gromp. I agree with that decision. Gromp takes forever to clear on a Mumu, especially if you don't have your Q yet, which is your only real single target damage.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely don't want to go for Gromp early with a Mumu. You want to stick to those multi-camp targets. Early trade for the Quinn onto the Syndra. Half health Mansberg. Still
Flashes
continuing
gets
it.
the
Whoa,
first
flashes
blood.
and get the first blood. Holy cow. Uses Ignite as well, so both summoners down for the Quinn. No summoners blown by Mansberg.
Yeah, that was a bit greedy by Mansberg not to flash after he saw the Quinn flash forward there. He easily could have dodged the Q with it, but that is going to be a bit costly for him.
Another heavy-duty trade going down in the bot lane. Asuv able to drop about half health. Kled trading against Nasus. Also half heals the Nasus.
Yeah, so I mean, I said that KP should have the winning mid, but it doesn't look like it's going to go that way this time. So KP finds himself in a really tricky situation then.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really blame Mansberg, though, because how often do you play against a Quinn in mid lane? So it's probably just the fact that he doesn't know the matchup as well.
Yeah, this is true. It's, like, Quinn is one of those champions with the secret buff of no one knows what I do, so inherently I do more.
Yeah, that can actually be really useful in these amateur leagues because you're not going to have the same level of knowledge that you would see on like an amateur, like a challenger level or an academy level team. Looks like Amumu's trying to go towards top side. I don't know if they're going to be able to win. He looks like he's just going to settle for the Scuttle Crab instead. Diana doing a full clear.
Yeah, Diana is going to have... Oh, okay. I was going to say, if Diana managed to steal away that Scuttle Crab...
Really another all-in. Kled able to get the 1v1 against the Nasus. That's really huge, because that wave is going to crash. Nasus will have to burn TP, or he's going to lose that entire wave.
Yeah, see, I was going to go into it earlier, but KP finds themselves in a really tricky situation now. Because now that mid lane has gone south a little bit... Oh, well, we have action, but...
Another solo kill, and it looks like he's gonna... Oh, nope. Looks like Mansberg did do a little bit of damage, but he denies the assist from the Amumu, so that's 150 less gold going over to the side of KP. So actually a really intelligent play by Ystriel to basically just execute to the tower.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like he should have given the kill over to Amumu. While yes, it's more overall gold to the side of KP, you are giving that kill over to the Syndra. And that's that's a very dangerous edge you're walking on there, because sometimes all it takes is one for Syndra to be able to one-shot an AD carry.
My guess is that he probably thought that it was going to be an execute. He probably didn't think the Syndra got him with anything.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, well, back to the point. KP finds himself in a really tricky situation here because they managed to pick themselves effectively 3 losing lanes now, despite having the counter pick. So that not only handicaps all of their laners and makes them be in a tough position, it also makes Always Gonna Game, this very aggressive jungle, have to really rein himself in here because he just doesn't have prio anywhere. He can't invade or look to bully the Diana, who's going to look to hard farm to 6. And he can't really gank anything either.
And it's not like he's playing something like a Xin Zhao or a Warwick or a Jarvan that has a lot of early game priority in that's able to do a lot of heavy ganking. He's playing a Mumu who can gank reasonably well, but really doesn't turn on until that level 6 point. And we can see that the gold is almost 1,000 gold lead. Good stun by the Syndra. Nasus roaming down to mid lane.
I think
Seems a
they
little
may have-
ambitious.
I think they spotted him out. Oh, maybe
Oh,
not.
maybe
The
not.
Wither goes down. There's no flash.
Diana's here though as well.
Flash Q just goes wide, but the stun from Syndra does
Ooh,
land.
stun lands. See if they're gonna chase this. Mystic Wave does not have 6.
See if they...
Wither goes down. That's gonna be another kill. That was actually very surprising. They were able to get that.
I feel like they should have given that kill over to the Syndra, the second one. Once the Wither goes down, you know that kill is guaranteed because Diana already flashed.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should have given it to Syndra because then she maybe starts to turn that lane more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the 2 kills going over to the Nasus is pretty big, though. I don't think it's enough to swing the Kled matchup because that's very, very heavily favored for Kled. But maybe he can now, like, at least manage to weather it a little bit better with maybe, like, a Kindle Gem or something to help him survive the burst.
Yeah, I think with Nasus, he's just got to survive as long as he can. Unfortunately, Kled was able to push that wave into tower, which means it's going to start to slow push away from the Nasus. So he really needs some assistance, either from the Amumu or the Syndra, or he's going to probably get all in pretty soon once the wave starts pushing away from him.
Well, the one important thing to note, though, is he has the Corrupting Potion versus the Kled, who has no potions whatsoever. So he still can slowly
Quinn's roaming up. Looks like they've spotted that this wave is going away from them right now. But there is a pink ward down.
I want to see Kled try and go for the freeze here. It looks like he's not, but if he does, that kind of just screws the Nasus.
Oh, Nasus just E'd, though. That's going to allow the lane to keep pushing.
Oof. Yeah, no, I wouldn't go for that one. I mean, I get that you don't want to drop the cannon there because that's a lot of gold, but you've effectively allowed the Kled to just completely freeze on you now.
Yeah, the Kled should be able to freeze really hard against the Nasus. Nasus doesn't have TP, and he backed. So that's going to be a huge... It's going to be really hard for him to come back into that lane now, especially since Amumu is prioritizing bot lane.
As long as Kled tanks the minion damage here and doesn't let it go into tower, the Nasus is really in an awful position, and he does. Okay. So, yeah, if Amumu doesn't come top, his entire career has just been ended effectively. He can't CS anything, and that's what he really needs to do to get online.
Yeah, he's going to be out of the game for at least another 5 minutes. They wind up pink warding this bush. Amumu decides that he doesn't want to keep waiting. Looks like they might be trying to make a play for the Drake, but they don't have the mid priority.
And the other team also has the Scuttle, so they know exactly where Amumu ran to.
Yep. Yeah, Nasus is in a horrible spot. He's going to try and take jungle camps away from the Amumu instead.
Yeah, with Amumu on the other side of the map, there's just nothing Nasus can really do in that lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very quickly mounting to a 24 CS advantage for Kled now.
Yep. He can just keep this freeze indefinitely. He needs somebody to roam up to help him.
Nasus just needs to either wave and get it to go into tower.
Yep. Diana's roaming up, though. This could be another gank onto the Nasus. Oh, but I'm getting ganked mid lane by the Mumu. Quinn winds up going down. Nasus pops his ultimate. Kled dismounts, but should be a kill. Yep. All right, and now they have the opportunity to keep this freeze going if they want. He could just freeze and back. He's got the TP.
Yeah, I don't know if they're tracking Nasus's TP or not. Because usually the play here should be hard shove it into tower if the Nasus TP is down. But since the Nasus TP is up, I don't think they tracked it.
Oh, great spell shield by the Stivir. Able to negate the Ashe ultimate. They do wind up getting the flash to the Nami. Nami's going aggressive, drops the exhaust onto the Zyra. Heal comes out from the Ashe. Quinn's in mid lane with the Diana. TP coming down from the Nasus. Amumu's in mid lane. Wind up get the counter kill onto the...
Are they going to go for the dive?
Nope, doesn't look like they can go for the dive. That's going to allow Kled to push out the lane, though. Nasus is losing even more CS. He's at 35 CS, 10 minutes into the game right now.
I feel like you definitely could go for the dive there. I don't know why they called it off. Amumu had smite and ult, so they very clearly could have if they wanted to. I guess it's just a little bit risky with the tower there, but they should have the damage since Nasus has Sheen already.
Yep. So we got a lot of summoners down now. Both summoners down on the side of the Nami. Heal down on the side of the Sivir. Sivir's under tower with very little mana. And Quinn is roaming. I don't think she's gonna get here in time to set up a dive. They're gonna have to wait till next wave. But
That's
if the Sivir stays,
so unlucky. Yeah,
ooh,
Sivir tried to spell shield.
Quinn's going in, able to get the Nami, going under tower now, gets a double kill.
Yeah,
Actually,
so
Ashe got one of the kills. Wow.
It's unlucky for Sivir there. She tried to spell shield the Zyra route, but it didn't have enough range, so
Both Diana and Amumu are coming up. Nasus is forced to flash. Diana goes in. She doesn't have the damage to be able to burst out. Winds up having to flash herself as the Amumu Q would have hit.
Mumu still has R. They should win the 2v2.
Now that Nasus's ultimate is down, I'm not sure if they do. If Kled's able to get the remount.
But Nasus has the stopwatch.
That is true. And Syndra is roaming up.
Like, there's a okay, well, yeah.
There's the ultimate coming down. Amumu was able to get the kill.
Syndra gets chunked out by Diana, who just blast cones over the wall.
Yeah, Quinn's gonna try to clean this up. Yeah, Quinn's coming up trying to 1v3.
Do they know where she is? She did show top lane on the minion wave.
Diana's just basically stalling, trying to...
Syndra has flash.
Syndra did take turret aggro for second.
That's so unlucky. Oh,
double kill for the Diana.
Oh, that's a wasted stopwatch.
Yeah, wasted stopwatch.
No, that's so unlucky for Syndra there. She hit the Diana with her Q and W, but the Triumph heal from killing the Amumu kept her alive long enough to do a rotation on Syndra and just pop her.
Mm-hmm. So it seems like right now, just about everything's going the side of TDK. They definitely have 3 winning lanes right now.
This Quinn is just a monster. She has double buffs now, too, from that fight. There's just nothing Syndra can do.
Yeah, definitely. TDK's mid laner is definitely staking his case for being all-star for Shuriman Division right now. He's been a monster this entire season.
Yeah, those are ADC mids, man. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of them, and it seems like most people don't know how to deal with it. It's kind of like the reverse perks.
The ADC swaps to me. Coming to an EU LCS near you, Reckless mid lane.
Yeah.
Quinn goes in on
that's gonna be the go button for the Quinn.
Oof.
Flash burned.
Yeah, as soon as Syndra uses stun, Quinn knows there's no counterplay anymore and just goes. Like
All
that.
in coming in top lane. Nass is able to get the dismount. His ultimate's about to wear off though. Dismount. The Kled is going to remount. Oh, but he flashes away at the last second instead.
Kled has 3 health.
He dives. He's able to get the kill. Is he able to get out? Oh, it's nice stun by the Syndra into the ultimate. Able to get the kill.
I feel so bad for Nasus there. He had Corrupting Pot DOT on the Kled when he remounted. When the Kled remounted, he had 3 HP. One more tick of that Corrupting Pot, and he won the 1v1. Oh, it's a very close fight.
First tower going down to the Kled. If Kled's able to push this in, he could start making a roam either mid or bot. They can start setting up for other objectives or for more turret plates. Actually, no, turret plates just dropped. Never mind.
Okay, interestingly enough, Amumu went the Haunting guys, so I guess he feels he needs to do more damage this game.
I've been seeing a lot of Amumus go into the Haunting guys as their second item, or they go into the Abyssal Mask. Amumu's wrapping around.
Oh, this should be really
They gotta push that go button.
Yeah, they gotta... ult.
There's the little bit late on the ultimate. There's flash out. There's the ultimate from the Amumu. Exhaust going down. I feel like that was a little bit unnecessary, but they were able to get 1 kill. They burned both flashes from both Eclipse and Cameron.
Yeah, I feel like when you see the Zyra flash behind you, you just press the alt button there. You can one-shot the Zyra with a full rotation.
Yeah, this should set them up for Drake, but Diana is pushing mid lane, and Diana is a fantastic split pusher.
Okay, yeah, Dragon should be theirs, barring anything ridiculous happening. Yeah, okay. A little bit of harass onto a move.
I don't know if there's any reason to take
Quinn's
that
all
forward.
inning it, actually.
Yeah.
That's
a little aggressive, but...
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You know there's 4 people on that dragon, man. I don't know what the plan was there, but a little bit too much for Histariel there.
Yeah, it looks like always in the game, able to get the bait off, baiting the Quinn in.
I mean, heck, you even saw the Amumu get healed. Like, you have vision of the Amumu. You saw him get Nami healed while he was clearing the ward.
Yep.
Oh,
Move's gonna go clear his jungle, but Kled and Diana are in there. Kled gets the red buff. Diana's gonna go in.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just got dunked by the Kled 4th auto there.
That potentially could set up a Rift Herald play now.
See, Nasus is trying to get a freeze going top lane. The cannon is there, but I think he's probably just going to break it. Yep.
Yeah, now it's going to slow push away from him. So, Nami bubble coming, or Nami ultimate coming down. Not sure if that was a misclick. Yeah, Rift Herald is definitely the play that they want to go for right now to try and accelerate this.
Yeah, they have vision all throughout the red side's top jungle, so it should be a pretty easy secure. You know exactly where that Amumu is. He's gonna walk over a ward any second now.
Yep, Rift Herald into group 5 mid. You should be able to get at least the outer tower, potentially some significant damage on the inner tower as well.
Let's see, with how low the mid tower is, one charge should kill it, and I don't think unless they're sitting 4v4 mid lane, that KP can stop the push after that.
Counter push mid going on right now by KP. Looks like they're going to try and beat them mid and try and get this tower. But Kled is ulting in. Looks like they want this fight. Always going to gain. Still under the tower. Able to get it, but he's going to pay for it with his life. He's the first to go down. Syndra's going down next. Now they got to get this counter pushed with the Rift Herald. They should be able to get at least one, probably 2 towers with this.
That was very greedy by Amumu to keep going for that mid tower. He should have blocked the Kled ult so that his backline could disengage, but instead the backline had to, the Sivir had to flash out, and then the Syndra had to take the ult for the team and went down as well.
All coming down onto the Sivir, TP coming in from the Nasus, able to be completed.
Does look like they'll stop the push mid lane before the second tower goes down.
I think the call from KP was they assumed that TDK backed after the Rift Herald, but TDK didn't back, and that's why KP tried to push for that mid tower. They tried to punish a back timing.
I mean, but you still have like a good 5-second warning when the Kled is coming. Like, you hear the sound audio cue, you should know to back off. It's just a little bit of an overstay.
Yeah, it looked like the rest of the team tried to back off, but the Amumu was set on trying to get that mid tower.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a split call there.
Yep.
All right, so Amumu does finish the entire Liandry's.
So we've talked a lot about TDK winning these lanes. Let's talk about how does KP get back into this. It looks like they're about 4,000 gold down. They're 3 towers to 1 down right now. How are they able to stabilize and actually recover this game?
Okay, well, your first win condition is Nasus getting a lot of stacks. Once Nasus gets a lot of stacks, he should start winning the 1v1 against Kled in the side lane. And once that starts happening, you also have a favorable 4v4. Once you manage to get like 3-ish items on your carries. Because you have the better engage. Without Kled, TDK relies on Ashe ult to engage, or Diana hard inting into the enemy team. So if you can just slow it down, you definitely outscale. That is not how you slow it down, however.
Yeah, I definitely... another Ashe ultimate going down. Nasa's going to go down. Amumu's going to also go down to the Kled. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no. Ashe is able to get that. That's a triple kill, I believe, for the Ashe. Or no, double kill for Diana, single kill for the Ashe. They're still trying to fight
going back, gets 1.
Trades 1 for 1.
Quite get the second.
I completely agree with you, though, that they need to try and slow this game down. They've got a Nasus, they've got a Sivir. Ooh, failed flash.
Yeah.
They need to slow it down, though. Like, Nasus Sivir, like, that's some pretty good scaling. The Amumu has some pretty scary late-game team fights.
Plus, like, they can easily scale it down if they try, too. Like, you have a very good wave clear. Sivir and Syndra both can clear waves very effectively.
Yep.
So, unless TDK gets the Baron, it shouldn't be too much to ask to just sit back, clear waves, and try and scale up.
I mean, even if they do get the Baron, Sivir has just legendary wave clear. If she gets like a static shiv. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that Sivir needs to prioritize going towards wave clear items, like a static shiv, to try and basically survive at this point.
Okay, so
Into that 500 CS win condition.
speaking of the Sivir build path, it's very interesting to me that she's going that Brawler's Glove now.
Hmm.
Usually you see Essence Reaver into Infin, from my experience, and then you'll go the Zeal item third, but it looks like she's going the Zeal item second,
Yep.
which I guess is probably going to be that static shiv, seeing as they need so much wave clear. But it's an interesting itemization choice, because it is going to make her worse in the team fights.
Yeah, that's true. Diana going in on the Nasus. Ashe is there. Nasus pops ultimate. He's
Can't
just
quite
barely
get it.
doesn't get it. One more Q. That's all he needed.
He was mid animation.
Trying to come in, but he is trapped
Yeah,
out.
that's double Bork 80 carries. He's just getting shredded. See, that's the unfortunate part about going for that Leandri's build, is that you have a ton of health and not very much armor. You're just getting the armor now, and both ADCs on the other team went Bork first item. So that health means nothing to them. And now it's just going to be a free Baron now that your Mumu's dead.
Baron call coming out. There's 2 bot lanes, so this should be free. Trying to stop the Kled split push. Diana is really low. She needs somebody else to tank for her.
If Mansford gets a good QE and one-shots Diana, there's a chance he steals. No, not quite fast enough, though.
All right, so now it really comes down to, can KP just wave clear for days and try and stall out this very aggressive TDK team? They basically are going to get... I think that they can give up at least 1 inhib. If they lose 1 inhib, that's fine. If they're losing like 2 inhibs, that's when I start to worry.
I expect both inner tower top and bot to go down during this, and maybe an inhib tower. But like, it looks like TDK is going for a... Okay, maybe they're going into a 1-3-1 now. It looked for a second like they were going to group for a 4 mid. Yeah, okay, they are going to waiting for the now.
Yeah, they were waiting for the Quinn, which is smart.
So yeah, if you're going for the 1-3-1, it should very easily be at least 1 tower going down bot lane, seeing as no one is there to clear anything right now.
Once both the Kled and the Quinn show, there is an opportunity.
Nasus is going for the fight on Kled, and he's winning it.
He's winning it right now. He's got the dismount onto the Kled.
Flashes and gets it.
Oh!
That's gonna rain on TDK's parade. Now that your 1-3-1 is broken, now you can send Nasus.
They need to go for this. It's 4v3. They need to go for it right now.
Nami flashes to 1v1 Ashe, but she's just gonna go down.
Yeah, definitely a split call. It was
horribly split.
Yeah, it was the right idea, but they just didn't focus fire the right people. Once the Ashe flashed over the wall, you could see that there was miscommunication on what was the secondary target they should be going for.
So,
but I definitely like the idea. Like, that's exactly what they should do. They try to engage the 4v3 once the Kled goes down.
But if you're Nami there, Nami flashes to 1v1 the Ashe, and then Diana can just go in and one-shot everyone without the Nami protection.
Yep. It's definitely miscommunication.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rough one. That's just going to be the game off that.
Yep. So yeah, I definitely, like, they have the right ideas. It was just a little bit of miscommunication here and there, and that winds up being TDK taking game 1. Wow. So I think going into the next game, they really need to rethink that they have to have at least 1 winning lane. They may want to draft for 2 winning lanes, since it seems like mid lane is going to be potentially more difficult than they initially thought.
Yeah, so with this, that means that KP has to win this next game to have any chance of making playoffs. If they win this next game, and then 2-0 GBM, then there will be a tiebreaker for 4th seed between TDK and KP, guaranteed. And then if KP wins this next game, if TDK wins this next game, KP is guaranteed taken out of playoffs, and then TDK and Ravenous Kumquats can then tiebreak for 3rd.
Yep. So any other thoughts about this game? I think it was just simply TDK got way too far ahead in the early game. They had 3 winning lanes. and KP was not able to slow the game down enough in order to, basically stall and try and come back since they did have the scaling advantage.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where you flame the coach. This game was lost in draft. Like, I don't expect KP to fumble draft nearly as hard next time, but like, oof, you early picked the Nasus blind,
Yep.
and you picked the Sivir Nami into the Ashe Styra, and then you save your last pick for mid, but then mid still doesn't get a winning matchup. So that's a bit of a yikes for me in the draft phase.
I think they early picked the Nasus because they said, "Hey, this guy doesn't play top lane. I'm gonna skill check him, and I'm gonna see if he can actually match me in top lane." And they got crushed when they
Yeah, a
did
little
that.
bit of
So
disrespect there.
yeah, so I don't think they'll make the same mistake again. But yeah, I think overall great game, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back for game 2. All right, we are back for game two of TDK versus Kamikaze Penguins. Dandelion Knights was able to get a very quick game one victory. They drafted very strong lanes and were able to basically win all three lanes and push down the Nexus pretty quickly. ZZ Dog, what do you think are the adjustments that KP should make going into game two?
First things first, I think their draft was just awful. Like, you drafted like the NASA super early on, which allowed for a counter pick. You drafted the Sivir early, which is a fine blind, but once you see that Zyra come out, you don't really. Well, I guess you didn't blind pick. You didn't pick either of your uh bot lane into the Ashe Zyra, so I give that one a bit of a pass. And there's not much that beats that anyway. But like, especially the glaring thing there is you had red side counter pick for your mid
Yep.
lane and still picked a losing lane. So I want to see them like ban different and pick in a better order. Save both your solo lanes to round two, so then you can at least guarantee one counter pick.
So I would make slight adjustments. I would say that they probably thought the Syndra beat the Quinn, and they were just wrong. Or they thought that the Syndra was going. Actually, no, they knew that the Diana was going jungle. I don't think that they should have picked the Nasus second pick. There's no reason that, in my opinion, that you need to pick that second pick. It like worst case, you save it for third pick, and then you ban out counters to Nasus.
Yeah, you very easily could have just picked the Amumu early.
Yeah, exactly. You know that he loves playing Amumu. Just pick the Amumu second pick, save Nasus for third pick. That way they can't counter with the Kled in the first rotation, and you potentially could ban that out if you're worried about a Kled, them picking it up in top lane. So I would say that it wasn't like a horrible draft. I think that there were just like slight tweaks that they have to make to that. I don't feel like they gained anything by putting Amumu in the third slot. They could have moved Nasus to the third pick, and they didn't really gain anything with the Nami in the fourth pick, I felt like.
Yeah, I also feel like you don't need the Warwick ban, and debatably the Draven ban probably isn't necessary anyway. Especially now that you see they play Ashe Zyra, like they're gonna be able to find a winning bot lane matchup if that's really how they want to play.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see you drop that one too, honestly.
I would
Target
definitely
ban
drop the
mid.
Warwick ban. Draven ban, I don't know. That's definitely debatable because he does play a lot of Draven and he's been very dominant on that pick. But you may just say, hey, I'm gonna, he's dominant on a lot of picks. Like he's dominant on the Caitlyn too. He's dominant on Ashe. So,
All right, we're keeping the Draven ban.
So we're into the second round. Draven first ban. Rammus coming out on the side of TDK for their first ban, which is
I don't
curious
expect TDK
because
to change anything.
yeah. Jinx second ban, so they dropped the Warwick. So the question is, are they going to ban out the Quinn? Are they going to ban out the Tristana? What are they going to ban out for that third ban? Silas second ban for TDK. Still respecting that. And I'm really curious to see what KP's priority for first pick is going to be.
I want to see them pick something like Ezreal, if I'm being completely honest.
They definitely could go for that. Their bot laner does play a lot of Ezreal. It's his most played champion, but he hasn't played it that much in the amateur league recently. They may also go for the Caitlyn first pick. If the Caitlyn isn't banned, he has played a lot of Caitlyn in the bot lane.
Last Ashe ban from TDK?
Okay. Weird. Okay.
That's
Caitlyn
really
first
weird.
pick. There we go. And interesting to see what the counter pick. I mean, Eclipse likes playing Kai'Sa, but playing Kai'Sa into Caitlyn can be really difficult. That would definitely be a skill check on him if he decides to pick that.
I feel like you. I'm interested.
Oh, that's a Nocturne. Pick. If that locks in, because
I think it might be top lane.
Well, they might flex into jungle too, because Maverick plays a lot of Nocturne in the jungle as well.
This is true. Lucky Maverick is a jungle player in solo queue, and he's their sub. But he also plays Nocturne top lane.
He does. He does.
So it very easily could just be top lane Nocturne, which would be a very ballsy blind pick. And then
that's Eclipse's Yasuo. That's Eclipse Yasuo. Eclipse plays Yasuo bot lane.
Yasuo is very good into Caitlyn.
Yeah, I think like 95% that's Eclipse going to be playing Yasuo in the bot lane right now.
All right, I'd like to see something like I know I won't see this. I'd like to see a Swain with it. Yasuo Swain is a disgusting lane. We're
It
not gonna
is,
see that
yeah,
though.
it's horrible. But I do
Uh,
think
I
that
expect like a
Champion Blade,
Thresh maybe.
yeah, Thresh, maybe even a Blitzcrank.
I'd like to see like Thresh or Rakan. I think Thresh or Rakan also pair very well with Yasuo. Okay,
So
KP
always
locks
gonna
in
game,
Volibear.
yeah, go into the Volibear instead of the Amumu.
I okay into what TDK has picked. I like this because if this was like last draft, I think Volibear would have been awful because you have double ADC and it's impossible to get on anyone.
Oh wow, and the Malphite. So
Okay, yeah,
Malphite coming
KP
in,
is looking to fight again.
yeah, and the Malphite can be flexed to multiple lanes.
Watch this be a Volibear support and the Malphite be jungling.
It definitely could be. I think that might be.
Volibear support actually destroys Yasuo.
Yeah, it could be actually a really good matchup. And the Thresh
It
coming
is
out,
going to be
good
the
call
Thresh.
on that. Yep. So Thresh, Yasuo, most likely bot lane.
Okay.
So they need to go towards. I mean, it could be a Malphite mid, but I think they want to start banning out mid laners here.
Okay. Mansford, I believe, has been playing a little bit of Malphite in solo queue, but like only like a one game from what I saw.
I think both teams want to start banning out mid laners right here.
Yeah. Once again, we see the Veigar ban, which is really important, especially if you're running Yasuo. Like, Yasuo just can't play the game against Veigar.
Mm-hmm.
See what this next ban is going to be.
Kaiser.
So
So they think
don't
that the Yasuo is
Yasuo is-
mid.
Okay.
Interesting.
What mid lane do you expect to come out from TDK?
Out of TDK, I wouldn't be surprised if they pick something like a Tristana or a Jinx. Oh, it's a Jinx ban. So Tristana, I could definitely see them picking.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Corki because you can ult off the Corki package as Yasuo.
Yeah, Corki also could. I think it's going to be a marksman type champion in
Plus,
mid lane.
Corki gives you magic damage to shore up the Nocturne Yasuo, especially if the Nocturne's top lane. That's so much physical damage. I want to see Gragas Corki second rotation for TDK. That's what I really want to see.
I don't know if Mystic Wave has played one game of Gragas this season.
He's also been playing it a bit in solo queue, so that's what I would like to see. Like right here, pick the Corki and then reveal that the Nocturne's top lane last with the Gragas. I think that would be a really solid draft for TDK.
And the Corki also would be a takeaway against Mansford because he does play a lot of Corki as well.
So curious to see where this is going.
Oh, they
Hey,
picked the Gragas.
Yes! Nocturne top! Nocturne top! Yes! Okay. If they go Corki last, I'm gonna be so happy. Okay. So let's talk about how KP can deal with this. I think if you shift Volibear to support, I don't expect it to happen, but that is really good into Yasuo. Your E stops his dash mid dash, and then Caitlyn very easily just traps him.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a very good matchup, and then Malphite should do fine into Nocturne and outscale him. So I think you could get 2 winning lanes that way, but it does look like they're going to pick up the Alistar for support instead.
Yeah, so it looks like they don't feel comfortable putting the Volibear at support. I mean, you got to remember, not everybody plays every champion.
Yep.
So going for the Alistar support, that also could be very good at interrupting the Yasuo. And they need damage. They need damage in mid lane.
Unless it's the AP Malphite mid. Guess we'll see. They have to reveal where... Okay, it is going to take away the Corki. Oh, I'm sad.
Yeah, I think that was the most logical choice for mid lane if you're going to blind pick.
Especially when
pick
you have
Corki.
this like 3 super heavy frontliners.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have the double marksman in the bag.
Yep.
I want to see TDK go for something like a Brand now, or maybe like Aurelion Soul, like something with magic damage.
Nope, it's a Tristana. He's going marksman versus marksman. Oh, okay. This is a spicy draft.
I mean, you can Yasuo ult off the Tristana ult, so there's that. But at the same time, you have no magic damage really other than Gragas. Mm-hmm. And because of that, this Malphite is terrifying.
I think this is another case of KP needs to scale. They need to stall. If TK gets ahead hard, that's how their win condition. But if KP is able to stall, they will outscale, especially with these triple tanks that they have.
But this is also another game where like Eclipse can just take this over, because by running double marksman, that means that Yasuo's wind wall becomes the most important ability in the game.
Yep.
If you get a massive wind wall to block both Corki and Caitlyn, and can then just get a giant fight off of it, like that's all the agency given to Eclipse here.
Not only that, but having the Nocturne can just pop his ultimate just so Gragas can set up, or Gragas or Yasuo can set up the knockup. And you won't be able to see it coming at all.
This is also
You,
true.
you don't even need to go in on the Nocturne. You just darkness the entire map. They can't see anything, and then all of a sudden they're caught in a massive Yasuo ultimate.
Yeah, I want to see if So I'm expecting it to be Predator Gragas, and he'll probably try and make early plays around mid lane, because especially when it's like you expect the Tristana mid to be aggressive, but especially when it's Ystariel, he goes hard on Tristana. Like
Yeah, level
he
2 all
goes
in all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
he goes Hail of Blades Tristana, and as soon as he hits level 2, he is on you with that Hail of Blades. He procs the charge and then instantly jumps out because of that Hail of Blades attack speed.
Yep.
And like it very, very quickly becomes a huge advantage in the mid lane. Like not many people can deal with that. That being said, Mansford is kind of known for his odd tech choice of Hail of Blades Corki, which he sometimes goes. So we might get like even trades in the mid lane with both AD carries going Hail of Blades and just spam autoing each other.
And Mansford right now it has the exhaust as a second summoner spell, which is probably a really smart call with how aggressive Ystriel likes to play mid lane.
Yeah, and especially like if Tristana jumps in and instantly gets exhausted, even if she manages to jump out, the Corki can just W after her. So I feel like if it's a level 3 all in, Corki could actually just win it if he has exhaust for it.
Yeah, this mid lane is going to be super important. It's going to be extremely important that the junglers get to mid lane fast. I expect level 3s on both sides going mid lane.
I'm disappointed. The Gragas has TP and the Nocturne has Smite.
Is it going to be a Gragas top lane with the Nocturne?
That's so disappointing, man. I was so hyped. I was so hyped for this top lane Nocturne matchup, but it doesn't look like we're gonna get it this time.
And that changes the complexion of like the entire matchup too, because Nocturne's not going to want to gank until level 6. So that gives Volibear the potential agency at level 3, level 4 to make a play.
Yeah, and you also because of this, like Malphite can't as easily build armor in lane, which is good news for TDK. But at the same time, I believe he should be totally fine just going like cowl into full armor after that. I don't think he even needs to finish an MR item this entire game.
Yeah,
Like
I would expect that. I wouldn't expect the Gragas to go the AP route, but he could potentially try to go full AP if he wanted to. But
I mean,
usually you only see that in the jungle.
yeah, it's really tricky to go full AP, especially top lane. Like you'll see it mid lane because you can one shot things, but like you're never gonna one shot a Malphite.
Yeah.
So you're probably going like off tank to be the front line, which granted they didn't have until now. But even then, I don't think it's the right decision because now Malphite can just full armor and be unkillable because your Gragas is never going to be an AP threat.
Exactly. So yeah, this changes a lot, and that is for sure the Nocturne locked in with Smite, Gragas locked in with TP. So they're gonna have their sub Lucky Maverick going into the jungle. Mystic Wave will be going top lane against this Malphite. And yeah, this mid lane is I think make or break, and Eclipse could really take over this Yasuo. He's pretty scary, especially since we got the double marksman coming out on the side of KP.
Okay, so both Corki and Tristana do have Hail of Blades. These are going to
Wow.
be some pretty bursty all-ins.
Yeah, this early game is going to be ultra important. I'm liking this. I'm liking the way this is going to stack up because this is going to be a very explosive game.
Okay, so it looks like Gragas took Comet, and so did Malphite.
It looks like both teams have realized that the game is play for laning phase, basically.
Yeah. So we're gonna see a lot of harass. Probably we're not gonna see. I don't think anyone's looking to slow it down.
No, which is weird because they picked the Nocturne, and Nocturne, doesn't normally like to gank until that level 6 mark.
That being
So unless they've
said,
got something planned to try and get him to accelerate to level 6 fast.
okay, well, I mean, even though Nocturne doesn't really like to gank until level 6, he still will always win the 1v1 around Scuttle. Like,
Very true.
the Volibear has no chance of winning that early Scuttle trade, so he should get at least one Scuttle, or even two, depending on if Volibear winds up pathing the same way he does. So that is
I
one way
don't
he can get
know.
to 6 earlier.
I'm wondering with the passive if Volibear can actually contest him.
No, because especially with Lethal Tempo, Nocturne just outbursts his healing. Looks like. Let's see, any other weird rune choices? Volibear is going Aftershock instead of Predator, so more of the team fight oriented and not so much early gank oriented rune choice there.
Yeah, I'd say that Volibear is purely on like peel Yasuo duties right now.
Yeah. Don't let the Yasuo come. I mean, as soon as Yasuo like E's, that Volibear just stops it.
Yeah.
So that's like a really hard thing to deal with if you're Eclipse here. You kind of have to ult off someone else or get those Qs off on the minion wave before a fight because you can't really E into the enemy team to start queuing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're almost done with spectator delay. Should be getting into it now.
Yeah, I think the setup around neutral objectives is going to be really crazy important this game. Whichever team gets to the neutral objective first is able to funnel the other team into a choke point is going to have a massive advantage because you've got that Malphite ultimate, you've got the Caitlyn traps. You're not going to be able to get through with that Malphite, Volibear, Alistar through a choke point. And likewise, if TDK is able to set up with the Yasuo and the Gragas and the Thresh, you're not going to be able to get through that choke point either. So I think early getting to those objectives early is going to be super important around these mid-game team fights.
Yeah, 100%. All right, I'm interested to see if we're going to get a level 1 here.
So who has the advantage if they do a level 1?
I would say we have a pause. Okay. I would say the team with Nocturne almost always has an advantage on a level 1. Nocturne CC as well as Thresh CC is very strong level 1. Because Nocturne can start pretty much anything. Nocturne likes to start W for clear because it gives him passive attack speed, but his E is pretty much just as healthy. And it's what you're gonna take level 2 anyway.
It's
So
hard to get the fear though if you don't have the Q. But if somebody's trying to like check into you, then yeah, you can get it.
I also think Nocturne has more move speed than a lot of champions on the opposite side there. Because, like, I believe... I would love to be able to check the base stats, but I can't because we're in a pause. But I think he has, like...
It is allowing me to check it. 345 base move speed.
Oh, for some reason it's not letting me.
Huh.
Okay, what's Alistar? Okay, Alistar's base move speed is 330. Yeah. So he can chase down the Alistar. He can probably chase down Malphite, I would think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Malphite's only
345 is pretty high. Like I think
Yeah, so
there's only a few other people like that type of speed.
apparently Volibear does. Learn something new every day.
So
But yeah, no, he
looks
can
like
really chase down AD carries too, because most AD carries have 325.
both teams look like they might be 5.8.
Yeah, I mean, the Thresh and the Yasuo are sitting there waiting for a cheeky hook, but I don't think they're really going to get anything there. Interesting
KP
start from Mansford. Starts Longsword 3 pots.
KP again does this invade into the top side to get a ward onto the red buff. They did that in game 1 as well. Yeah, the longsword 3 pot, so he's expecting to try and trade a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that does mean he's more susceptible to the Tristana burst, however, because he doesn't have that extra health that comes from the Doran's blade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised that if he was going for the 3 pots, he didn't just go refillable to try and get the early corrupting.
I think he's worried about just the straight up level 2 again.
Well, I think he wins though. Like if you as Corki have QE and the Tristana jumps on your face, you're shredding her armor, and you also have Hail of Blades. So I think your trade is actually beneficial.
But that's assuming that the Corki gets to level 2 at the same time as the Tristana.
That's fair.
That's what I would be worried about, because the Tristana can really hard shove with her passive and her E.
Okay,
ooh, fresh onto the hook onto the Alistar.
Always Gonna Game went red into top clear. That one's interesting to me. I think it's not quite the optimal. Oh my god, that Tristana damage. Yeah.
Wow.
And since Mansford doesn't have the Doran's Blade, he's just got to wait for those pots to slowly charge up.
Yeah, so Tristana was able to get that level 2 first and went for an all-in almost immediately.
Yep, that's how Yusriob always plays it. As soon as you're level 2, you're on him.
And really now Tristana is moving up into the blue buff. Oh no,
this is the ward onto the bush. That's unlucky. Okay. So as I was saying, Always Gonna Game goes for the red into full clear top, which I think is fine if you're going for a gank top lane, but not cycling Krugs early is like...
All in from the Tristana again. Exhaust goes down from the Corki.
But as you can see...
Maybe able to trade out.
Yeah, see, like, the Corki actually has crazy trade back potential with Hail of Blades.
But that was even, and the Corki had to use 2 sums to the Tristana's 1 sum.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Tristana did not use Ignite. I think if she used Ignite there, she might have actually won. She hard committed for it. But that
I think did Tristana take a tower shot too?
I didn't see. I was watching the top trade.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But Corki can get a Corki can get Sheen on this first back if he wants it, which would be a massive advantage over Boots.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Guess we'll see if he goes for that. If he goes for the Sheen, then he won't be able to get anything.
He went for Boots longsword. 2v2 in top lane. Flash coming out for on the side of the Gragas.
Okay, it's interesting to me that he went boot longsword but didn't go any pots.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake there.
Tristana didn't go any pots either though, so like if somebody goes for this all in and takes the worst half of it, it's almost guaranteed you have to back.
Yeah, I think both mid laners should be calling for jungle help right now.
Yeah, let's see.
Tristana goes in. Volibear is here. He's not going to be able to reach her.
He has flash. Not going to get it, though.
He needs to flank instead.
Volibear's going to run into Nocturne here at Scuttle.
Yep.
Nocturne has the level advantage and intrinsically wins the 1v1, and he has a red buff.
And the Tristana's
roaming.
Yep.
Yeah, good early flash there from Always Gonna Game, but Tristana should get the W reset if she kept going. I think she could have got it.
So Nocturne's going to get that Scuttle Crab. So 1 Scuttle Crab to 1 Scuttle Crab. Pretty even lane states, though. I mean, CSs are pretty even across the board right now.
Yeah, but you got to think that favors KP 100%. If you're getting even CS in every lane other than jungle, like that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. Let's
like,
win wall down from the Yasuo. TDK's bot lane is in an interesting spot right now. They're kind of stuck permanently on their side of the lane, which is not where they would want to be.
Okay, so interesting choice by the Nocturne. He goes Skirmisher's Boots here. I think you should definitely be going the Longswords early instead. Like, if you're going Skirmisher's Boots, that signals more that you want to hard farm versus going the Longsword signals that you want to try and find the enemy jungle and fight them. And I think that's what you should be doing because you want to push the tempo.
Alistar roams up, not able to get anything. Nocturne is shadowing this mid lane.
Yeah, Mansford's completely out of mana though, so he has to go back, which should give the Tristana the shove and maybe a plate. Tristana does shove those plates really fast.
Yep. And she's pretty safe because she does have a ward on the bot side right now.
Thresh
Hook onto
lands
the
the hook on the
Alistar. I don't think he wants to go in on that.
Malphite's going AP. I vehemently disagree with that.
He might be going towards the Rod of Ages.
Even then, you don't need that. Just go armor, dude. All the threats are AD.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that health. Just go Sunfire into Iceborne and you can't die.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Nocturne is topside, does not have level 6 yet. He'll get spotted out by this Vision Ward.
Doesn't really have any damage either, so there's not really any kill threat. The Gragas got a great cast, but Nocturne's not in position to follow, so Malphite just ults back out.
Yeah, I don't even know if Malphite needed to use his ultimate to get out.
I mean, there was always the chance that the Gragas, because Gragas would have hit him with E if he didn't ult there, and there's a chance he could have gotten one-tapped from the Gragas burst.
Mm-hmm.
Gragas does do a lot of damage if you factor in the Comet.
Volibear is mid lane, stops the jump from the Tristana. That's going to be first blood going over to the Corki.
Nice.
Well played by Always Gonna Game. Able to stop that rocket jump out of the Tristana with his E.
That being said, even with first blood... Oh,
Nocturne going in top lane. That's an instant kill. Wow.
That's really unlucky. Because the Malphite couldn't see anything, he flashed away from the Nocturne.
Flash from the Caitlyn to get out. That Thresh hook was going to land, so that was a very good flash by the Caitlyn.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It was really unlucky up top lane there because Nocturne ulted onto Malphite, and he couldn't see anything. So he flashes away right onto the Gragas charged Q, which instantly killed him.
Yeah, that definitely was unlucky. So Malphite does have to burn his TP to get back to top lane. Gragas has already used his TP. Volibear's on a ward. So 1-for-1, pretty even game state right now.
Yeah, but you look at the scoreboard and you see almost an 800 gold lead for TDK, though the kills are even, and that's just manifesting from the CS leads.
Yeah, CS leads, and it looks like the one
tower plate mid.
Yeah.
Which probably is going to be 2 before all that long.
Yep.
Corki does have package, though, and I think Mansford
wins. Flash in onto the Caitlyn.
That's
going to be a dead Caitlyn, sure. Yep.
Volibear might be able to clean this up, though.
Yasuo still has ultimate, though. He's going to try and get out. I think at least...
Oh my god, the arm damage!
Wow! Double kill for Volibear.
Oh, and mid lane. Mansford gets it. Oh, no!
Nope. One more Q? One more Q?
Close.
Oh, and Nocturne's here to clean up.
Oh, no!
Exhaust comes down. Nocturne flashes the wall. He's going to be able to get this kill.
So unfortunate. Oh, you wanted it so bad, but just barely couldn't.
Wow.
Oh, I feel so bad. That was so close.
So this Volibear pick is actually turning out really well. Volibear is coming out very clutch, able to get that double kill. Looks like they got 2 plates bot as well. And the gold is now almost equalized, down to 400 gold difference between the two teams. But a massive wave is going to die in mid lane. Yeah. Oh, plate drops, but nobody is within range to get it. So nobody got that plate in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's a consolation prize. You got to think Tristan definitely would have gotten it if she was there.
Yep.
So 160 gold that she can't pick up.
So Volibear's camping that lane in bot lane right now.
So looking at how the gold...
Volibear's going to go in. Thresh is definitely caught right now.
Yeah, he should definitely go down.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go down.
Donate to Caitlyn? Yep. Okay.
Yep, donate to Caitlyn.
So,
great play.
Looking how gold is shaking out, the lead for TDK, or at least the lead they just had, is manifesting solely in top and jungle. Everywhere else is roughly even or favoring the side of KP over TDK.
Ooh, Alistar roaming mid.
That's a great flank, but a good buffer by Tristana.
Yeah, he needed to get the pulverized right as the Tristana was in the rocket jump in order to prevent her from being able to get out of that. That's what's so difficult with the Tristana. She just feels so safe with her rocket jump.
Okay, so the Gragas is going Roa, and Malphite has a Ruby Crystal, which leads me to believe he probably is doing the same.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Looks like he's going to go towards Roa as well.
I already said my piece on that.
Yep.
Nocturne's going Blood Razor, which I also think is not great, especially seeing as Malphite's going this odd AP build. Your AD, like, you should definitely be going AD for the one shot, not the sustained damage build.
I think he might be worried because they've got the 3 tanks, so he's going for more of a tank buster route.
I mean, maybe he's going the Sports Second item to help destroy the front line, but you're going to get one shot by Volibear if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'd like to see him...
Oop, hook. Oh, right into the ultimate and the Nocturne ultimate as well. Alistar has to pop his ultimate. Yasuo is chasing. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill it in the ultimate.
He still goes down because of the hook, yeah.
Oh, the hook lands.
Volibear should just one-shot Thresh, though. Oh, nope, not able to.
Oh, heal comes out.
Yep.
Wow, what a great play from the bot lane of TDK and the Nocturne being right there. That should be Drake going over towards TDK.
Yeah, okay, so what I want to see the Nocturne do here, because you're so fed, if you're going that tank busting route, that's fine, but what you should be going actually is Spear of Shojin then. Because there's actually this high elo build that's making the rounds a little bit, where you go Spear of Shojin on Nocturne, and then you go Black Cleaver. And
Gragas is gonna get a solo kill.
Might
or maybe not.
Not
quite.
It
just barely gets it back. Wow, Mystic Wave is playing really well in this Gragas in top lane. Definitely gotta give him some credit. He's hit quite a few clutch casks. Tristana taking a lot more turret plates. That's the 4th plate going down.
Yep.
Alistar is roaming, but Tristana's able to get out, uses the ultimate to knock away the Alistar.
Oof. Okay. But no, as I was saying, there's the Silo Nocturne build, where you go Spear of Shojin Black Cleaver, and basically the whole goal is you ult onto the front line, you E whatever front line is going to engage to try and fear them away, and because you have Shojin, you can just keep Eing them, and then there's just no chance that they can get onto your backline. So I wouldn't actually mind seeing that type of build come out if you're scared that the Volibear is the primary carry at this point. But even then, I still say that just going for one-shotting one of the AD carries is better.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what type of builds they're going to go into, because Nocturne's 4-0. He's got to definitely carry his team.
I mean, it's looking like Bork at the moment, which I don't...
That's what it's looking like to me, too.
Like, it's very easy to one-shot a Nocturne, especially if he's not building any sort of tank items.
Tristana gets first tower. They got this flash. Yeah, she's dead for sure.
W.
TP coming in from the Gragas, though. He might also be in trouble. Ooh, Caitlyn gets hooked. Thresh goes in. They get the ultimate onto the Alistar, but Alistar pops his ultimate as well. Caitlyn might be able to clean this up. Ooh, Alistar flashes out.
Down, though. The Volibear's on the flank, along with Corki.
Yeah, they're collapsing. They're collapsing.
They see the Yasuo. Corki has package. He can join.
He should be able to use it. Caitlyn ult going down.
There he comes.
Yep.
Not
flash out, and the cast from the Gragas is able to save the Yasuo's life.
Oh, this
just
is
barely.
Such an unlucky Corki game. He's been like so close to being 3-1 right now.
Meanwhile, Nocturne is on the Rift Herald right now. Nobody is able to detect it. Nocturne gets the Rift Herald.
They should get this tower mid, though.
They'll definitely get the mid tower for sure. Yeah.
Especially because right now, what are you really expecting Herald to get? Like, maybe it gets one tower, so you just traded a tower for a tower. I think you're fine with that if you're in KP's position, because you're outscaling. Like, as long as you're taking even trades, you're happy. Tristana might just be caught out top lane, though. There's a bunch of people in her top jungle walking up there.
Yeah,
she is going to spot it out, though.
4 going top. Caitlyn's falling behind. Caitlyn's also trailing behind, so now 5 top.
Just go for it. Just go for it. Yeah.
Yep, there's the ultimate onto the Tristana.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's dead Tristana. Oh, and Alistar gets the execute. Malphite goes down. Nocturne ults in. Winds up being able to solo the Volibear.
Yeah, people kind of just split off from each other there, which is exactly what the Nocturne wants.
Yep.
As soon as you're away from each other, Nocturne can just one-shot pretty much anyone on your team.
So if Caitlyn and Corki back, then that means that Nocturne can drop the Herald. This could be top up. They stop their backs. Caitlyn gets hooked. Oh,
yeah.
She's definitely going down.
Corki is going to die if he stays here. The tower's going down. Gragas has cast.
Gragas, yeah, he has cast. That's what I was just checking.
Not
A little
quite
bit
able
late
to
on the
push it
cast.
back.
TP coming
Malphite's
out
coming.
from the Malphite.
Malphite doesn't have ult though, so there's not really any chance that he's gonna get something off it.
Meanwhile, Yasuo was able to get bot tower and has been able to push that wave into inner tower. So that wave's going to die to tower, and he's going to start stealing some jungle camps. We've got an Infernal Drake coming up very soon, so that's going to definitely be something that both teams want to fight over.
Yeah, it's slowly inching towards TDK, but gotta ask yourself, do you think it's going their way fast enough? Because the Volibear just finished his Thornmail, and he's building more armor now, so eventually it's just gonna become unkillable.
I think this Infernal's got to be a big fight that they got to go towards. Infernal's coming up in 15 seconds. That would be the fight where I'd want to pull the trigger.
Yeah, especially with Nocturne being as strong as he is, and he has the level up on Volibear, so there's not really much chance of Volley stealing that dragon either. Like, Volley's not even halfway to 11 yet.
Tristana's really low health right now, though. But unfortunately, Corki and Malphite are both top right now, so they can't contest this Infernal Drake.
Yeah, and Alistar's in base. Guess we'll see if Caitlyn pulls a Frostbite and steals it with Q. No such luck.
Oh,
and Volley gets caught out.
Volibear is definitely going down.
And so
Nocturne goes on the Caitlyn.
Oof.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a split call there. The Infernal was coming up. That was pretty huge. Either you decide that you want to contest it, or you send everybody top lane and you try to just trade a tower for the Infernal instead.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're respecting the engage potential. Like, they're going in by themselves.
I mean, to be fair, like, Cameron has hit so many hooks this game. He's been...
Well, that one wasn't even a hook. That was a max-range tornado that caught Volibear.
Yeah. But I definitely have to give some credit to our Thresh. He's been hitting a lot of
Thresh has been hitting a ton of hooks. Alright, so
map state has really opened up. I think this actually really favors the Nocturne at 7-0. If KP wind up splitting into like a 1-3-1 or a 1-4, Nocturne can really punish anyone who overextends even the slightest bit.
Okay, it does look like he's going for the Black Cleaver now.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, he's going Black Cleaver now. It's not, they removed the, so I can't say that anymore. No, but really, so yeah, he's definitely going the I don't want Volibear to exist route.
Yep. So to be curious if he goes, so Black Cleaver will be third item. Then the real question is, does he go for Guardian Angel or does he go for that Spear fourth item?
I don't know. I don't see the Spear build very often. It's like what?
Ooh, Malphite goes in, able to
the Nocturne does go down.
That's 1,000 gold shutdown going over to the Malphite.
Yeah,
Gragas forced to flash out. He's going to continue to get slowed. Caitlyn should be able to catch up to him. Gragas does get out with the body slam.
Caitlyn still has ult.
Flashes forward. They're going to try and clean up the Tristana now.
If they just get a little bit more damage down on her, they can all...
Ooh, no, Yasuo and Thresh are there.
Malphite's going to go down. Corki package divides the team. Thresh should go down here. He can't walk away.
Ooh, able to get the trap down onto the Thresh.
Wind wall stops Corki from contributing anything there, so Thresh does manage to get out.
Wow, so another really scrappy trade.
I mean, you're still happy if you're KP there.
Yeah.
Like, you get the Nocturne and the Gragas in exchange for just Malphite, plus you get that 1,000 gold shutdown.
Yeah, that shutdown was huge, but the gold lead is still 4K.
That's not insurmountable, though.
No, definitely not. Ooh, Tristana's going in pretty hard.
Nocturne's going in on Volibear in the back, though.
Alistar goes and gets a 3-man Alistar, but the Yasuo.
Yasuo just got stuffed by the Volley, though. Volley's going ham onto the back line. This is just what KP needed.
That was a hard carry by the Volibear and the Alistar with a 3-man pulverize as well. Great play. That could be a bear.
Like walked forward and didn't stop.
I thought for sure the Yasuo was going to wind up killing both the Corki and the Caitlyn once he landed that ultimate, but wow, hard carry from the Volibear.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. They do get out. I don't know if they can continue this Baron though. It's risky.
Malphite's coming behind. Yeah, Malphite's coming behind. He can peel for them. No, he needs to tank. He needs to get back there and tank. Volibear's at such low health right now.
Oh no, that's unlucky.
That's an execute.
It's gonna be more than one at this rate. They don't have smite anymore. Volibear had to smite for health. Alistar's there to tank. They do get it, but at what
Just
cost?
barely. Malphite's forced to flash.
He's still gonna go down. Oh no, he does ult out.
Ults
that
out.
was a really good buffer.
So that's 4 Barons on the team. I think that's definitely worth.
I mean, that's worth, but I can't help but think that Caitlyn maybe should have just walked away from that one.
Well, she got hit by the tentacles the Baron has, so she could have been able to dodge those.
All right.
So mid to inner goes down.
Okay,
it
so
looks like TDK
4K?
is going.
What?
Looks like TDK is going to go towards the Drake right now, spawning in 30 seconds.
I think you're fine giving that, honestly, if you're KP. Like if you're KP, you want to push and
if you're KP, I say you just push, get mid control.
Yeah,
and they'll have to respond if they don't.
Mountain's only important if TDK is winning.
I think this is a mistake. There's just push mid. Use mid priority to allow you to unlock the Drake, basically.
All right, so it does look like they're getting mid prio now, but
they're split right now.
Few around.
Yeah, they're really
Malphite's
split.
gonna get caught by the cast.
Oh, that's a one-man Yasuo ultimate though. I don't know if that's worth.
Malphite took forever to go down, but there's no one on KP to follow.
Yeah, unfortunately, all the damage dealers are backing off right now.
I feel like they could have taken that fight if they went for it.
I think they could have too. I think there was just another split call there.
Yeah, especially the Alistar got like a 4-man pull there. If they had the Caitlyn damage, would have been really huge. But doesn't look like the Kamikaze Penguins were willing to throw the game on that one fight. So playing the conservative route, I mean, that's fair, especially if you have the scaling advantage. Trying not to go for anything too risque is completely fair.
They still got Baron on 2 of their champions. There's a pretty strong counter push in mid, though.
Okay, so interestingly enough, they put the Nocturne in the side lane.
Nocturne is a scary split pusher when he's this far ahead.
This is true, but like usually what you want is like the Gragas in the side lane, because what Nocturne really benefits from is walking back and forth between mid and bot lane, because he can quickly join either. So making him do the thing that Gragas is doing right now, where he's just walking back and forth, is much more beneficial to him than it is to the Gragas.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is trying to get the Nocturne even further ahead, but I feel they probably think that nobody can 1v1 the Nocturne right now.
I mean, I don't think that's true though. I think Volley actually takes it at this point.
Perhaps, yeah, you're right. Volibear might be able to contest.
Okay, Volley's going Spectres. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah,
I feel like if you need MR for the Gragas, like if the Gragas is starting to be that AP threat, I would definitely just go Stoneplate.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a better call. But the Volibear does benefit a lot from the Spirit Visage. That's definitely pretty costly to go into that just for the healing advantages.
I especially think you want to get that Randuin's as fast as possible when you have Yasuo Tristana on the other team.
Yeah. Randuin's is pretty clutch when you have 2 crit stackers.
Alright, it looks like Malphite is either going into Deadman's now or stopped for a giant spell. It's on the way to...
Ooh, well done by the Corki to be able to use the package to get the Nocturne off of him. So they trade Nocturne Ultimate for Corki package, and Corki's able to get out. And they get the bot tower out of that. Yeah, they got the bot tower as well. That's definitely worth.
Alright, so item breakpoints. Almost everyone on KP is nearing that second item, which is really big. Alistar, interestingly enough, went Randuin's already.
Yep.
I mean, it's fair you're into double crit, but like, I feel like
that's the Gragas cast. Not able to isolate anyone though.
I don't know. I feel like you should have went Knight's Vow if you're Alistar here. Like, you need to keep that Caitlyn alive. That's all your damage at the moment.
Yeah, it's rough when you're playing a tank support because you don't feel that tanky.
Well, yeah, you got to keep in mind you're support tank, not tank support. Malphite does get hit by a Thresh Hook though, and he's gonna go.
Yeah, he might have going down.
And that's gonna be inhib along with him.
Yep. So a little bit of a miscommunication, it seems like, again.
Thresh lands another hook on the Alistar, but isn't gonna go in on it.
I think they're going to want to try and go in on this. Nocturne is bot lane without ultimate, but the Thresh is able to disengage with his ultimate.
Nocturne gets the bot tower.
We got Baron coming up in 50 seconds. Nocturne gets the bot tower, is going to back. I think that TDK definitely has tempo advantage to set up for this Baron right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. Let's see. Dragon spawns in another minute and 20. So I almost feel like if you're KP, you want to take that because you want to delay the Elder Drake spawning as much as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
not only that, but it's going to be 3 mountains on the side of TDK if they get it, which means that towers, Baron, Elder all go down just by like staring at them the wrong way.
While that is true, I don't think it's really all that big of a deal because, like I said, the mountain's only good if the other team is winning, and you want to have the mentality of they're not going to be winning.
I think KP needs to go. They're trying to force these choke points. That's really dangerous.
I want to see I want to see the Volibear get Aranduins, but I also want to see him get Righteous Glory. Righteous Glory would help so much. Actually, Alistar should go it. If Alistar goes Righteous Glory to help him and Volley get onto the enemy backline, the team fight starts looking really good for KP.
Okay, so KP has got Baron control right now. I would expect that Caitlyn wants to start setting up those traps and those choke points. Looks like Nocturne's going to go down to try and solo out the Mountain Drake.
Yeah, he's just going to get it for free. No one's even remotely close. And since KP doesn't have any vision on where he is right now,
they
can't really do anything.
Yeah, not only that, but even if they tried to force the Baron, Nocturne could join very quick with his ultimate.
Oh,
there's a 2-man ultimate.
Trap.
Wow. Well done.
They should get at least 2 here. They maybe also get the Tristana.
Yep. They wind up getting 2. Volibear's chasing.
Flashes
his.
Flash.
Well played by the Volibear.
Tristana, and she goes down as well. Caitlyn flashes for the Thresh, but not going to get it.
1v1 going on between the Nocturne and the Malphite. I think the Nocturne's going to win that one.
Yeah, if you're KP, I think you should just go Baron here. Like,
yeah,
the Nocturne is scary, but his ult's down, so you'll know when he's coming. He can't come from far away.
Yep, and if you do have pink wards in the inventory, you got pink wards in the inventory, so you can definitely deny his vision.
Yeah, and you can set up that Caitlyn trap line. Strange enough, doesn't look like they're going to set that up, though. Nocturne's in the area, but since he has no vision, there's not really any chance that he can steal
He might go for 50-50, I don't know.
Nah, he doesn't have vision.
Back.
Yep.
What a great play by the Malphite. Really just capitalized and got that 2-man ultimate.
I mean, that was all off the back of Caitlyn putting down a control ward and setting a trap on the edge of the bush where she knew they wouldn't see it. Yasuo just stepped right on the trap, and as soon as anyone went to go help him, Malphite out from Fog.
Yep. All right, so KP's got Baron again. But,
yeah, it's like as soon as you think they're down and out, they go get the purple worm and gives them a pick-me-up.
Wow, but 4 Drakes on the side of TDK, though.
Yeah, that's going to be really scary come Elder. Luckily, they took it before 30 minutes, so it's not going to be spawning until significantly later.
Yeah, the last Drake is going to be an air Drake, so not the highest priority.
I mean, it is really nice if you're the Nocturne, though.
That's
if
true.
you're the Nocturne, you're walking back and forth between these lanes. Getting that extra rotation speed is nice.
So they're splitting out the Nocturne in bot lane right now. I think they're doing this just so that if somebody tries to go to answer him, then he can sweep back up an ultimate. But it looks like KP instead is just going to 5-man mid and try and look for a base race.
Alright, so Nocturne is going Randuin's Omen to deal with the double crit marksman. Interesting choice.
I would have preferred a GA instead.
I would prefer just about anything else. Uh, I think almost any other armor item is better. Like Randuin's is good because they have double crit, but I think the Deadman's is better. Like if you want the armor, Deadman's is nice. GA is nice. I don't think Thornmail's better, but like I definitely think if you're walking back and forth between these lanes, having the Deadman's for the rotation speed as well as that extra little bit of burst when you're jumping on the back line is nice. Looks like he's going another armor item last.
I don't know why KP is trying to force mid lane, but they still have top outer and top inner up. They could easily get those towers rather than trying to brute force this in the mid lane.
I think they see the mid lane tower is so low, and since they have the Baron cannons, they want to get it.
Yeah, it's so risky though. Like the top towers are free right now. If you go mid, then you're risking potentially losing that team fight.
I mean, at this point, I think you're pretty confident you win the fight if you're KP. Like, both your tanks have gotten a lot of armor at this point. Your crit ADCs have their 2.5, 3 items. Caitlyn is really fed. They do get the tower.
They wind up getting the tower.
They should get the inhib as well.
If you're TDK, I don't even think you need to fight this. Thresh gets a hook on the volley bear. Oh! Missed ultimate from the Malphite. That's the go button for TDK. They're going in.
But they fling the Vola bear into the back line. That's not where you want him, bro.
Oh, Caitlyn's still alive.
No. The Gragas cast just flung the Vola bear onto Yasuo, and he just chopped right down.
So not able to get either the Caitlyn or the Corki down. So that's 3 for 0, and that's most likely going to be the game.
Yeah, Mansberg takes down Nocturne. That's got to be game.
Wow, so great play by KP.
So we don't know how the playoffs are going to look yet. There's one more match to decide if we get the tiebreaker.
Wow, great play by KP coming back after that game 1. They stalled it out. They were able to turn it. That's really impressive.
Yeah, I'm interested. Like this makes the GBM series really exciting now.
Oh man, yeah. I think we know who TDK is going to be rooting for in that series.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, the Gragas actually led in damage.
Well, I mean, when everyone's building armor.
Damage. Yeah. Did we want to get an interview, or do we want to just call it?
I'm fine getting an interview.
All right. Let me see if I can. Who do we want to interview?
I mean, okay, so the second game was definitely always going to game just popping off. And the first game felt like, I don't know, really. That one was kind of a team effort.
We can take one from each team. Who would you pick from each team? We can just talk to teams and we'll figure out who they want to nominate.
Yeah, we'll just see who they want to send. Yeah, Scatter says it's always exciting when the series goes 1-1 because you want to see them again in playoffs. Unfortunately, both these teams can't make it.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the post-game interview channel.
Yep. All right.
So
looks like Asav wanted to come.
Oh, Asav wanted to come.
Oh,
in.
that's
all
a
right.
mistake. Okay, that's a mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just leave like that, but now I'm actually leaving. So...
Okay.
No, it was way better when he just said, "That's a miss."
All right. So we got Mansberg in the channel. So tell me how you guys were able to recover after that game 1. Or actually, first tell me how you felt after that game 1, and then what you guys did to be able to rally in that game 2.
Honestly, after game 1, we kept mental together. That's mostly our ADC's job. He kind of like pulls it together. I said to him that this was a must-win game for us because I'm sure you guys were saying if we got 2-0'd, we were out of any chance of playoff contention. And he didn't very much appreciate me saying that's a must-win game. He's like, it's just a regular season game. I'm like, but if we lose, we don't get anything past the regular season. But we identified that, I mean, obviously they banned Rammus again going into game 2, so they were going to have at least 2 ADCs and they ended up with the Yasuo, so fine. We thought that was going mid up until the Tristana got picked. But we decided, we're talking to our top laner, and we're like, he's vouching for Nasus again because it's a lane he plays really well, but we're like, play Malphite. He's like, I don't really know Malphite matchups. We're like, trust us, it's what we needed, and honestly, it's the only reason we won the game. We had nothing until they couldn't step up to us until Malphite.
Yeah, so with that was a super clutch win. With that, you now have a shot. You got to be able to 2-0 GBM tomorrow in order to be able to go for that tiebreaker, I believe.
We're doing our best not to underestimate them. You know, it's the 1-9 team that always does their best to just kill your playoff hopes. So we are
playing the upset role.
We're treating them as a legitimate squad. We played against them last year. We have some history.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the biggest question I have for you is, have you ever seen the champion Quinn before? And if so, how did that mid lane go so bad?
I have seen Quinn before. I didn't realize that at level like pretty much kill me with me trying to retreat under tower just with her E and what's it called? Harrier abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That definitely caught me. Dying 2 times, I think, before I really even got to level 2 probably lost us the game just from the start of things. I knew that with QE, I mean, it was a little weird where I kept casting E without the Q orb spawning in, so I guess I was just out of range of it. But I was stressed. I didn't play so great in the first game, and I think I cost my team the game, to be honest. But it was a tough lane. I invite him to try it again in our one.
All right. So, like, I'm assuming you're expecting the tiebreaker to happen. So
we're hoping.
Okay, so what do you think you would change going into the tiebreaker? Like, what have you learned from this?
I think. What have I learned from this? It's hard to say, to be honest, because this wasn't their team. It was their team, but they didn't have their top laner. And then their sub ended up going jungle and played an insane match on Nocturne. Props to that guy. He held his own on Kled and was insane on Nocturne. And that really pressured our lanes. But all in all, fear the ADC's mid. They do a real job. And we know that we had to play smart macro-wise. We were able to take both of the Barons in game 2. I mean, you guys watched the little fiesta that we had with Baron killing our ADC and our jungler not having smite. But listen, we won the battle against the Baron, and we were able to take the game.
Hey man, I'll never flame you for going fiesta.
All right. Well, good luck, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks for casting, guys.
Yep. All right. Let me see if I can get Cameron, and he was offered up his tribute on the side of TDK.
All right.
Hello. All right, so we got Cameron here. So tell me about those games. So game 1, you guys came out and just freaking barnstormed, won all 3 lanes. What were your guys' thoughts going into that draft, and how were you guys able to execute such a clean game 1?
Going into that draft, we had to prioritize mid and top lane getting ahead because shutting down the Nasus was their late game scaling, and then banning out Vygar to stop basically losing the game after like 25 minutes from just being outscaled. And then in bot lane, we chose a lane where the Zyra Ashe, where we didn't really have to get any pressure from jungler. Outpoke.
All right, and what do you think happened in game 2? It was definitely a really close match. But what adjustments do you think that they made that allowed them to get that victory in game 2?
Their team comp was very good at splitting up our team with the Alistar knockback and the Malphite ult. Yeah. Yeah, their team was very good at splitting up our team with the volley flip, the Malphite ult, the Alistar hit, and the package from Corki, and we couldn't really get on their backline with Caitlyn just putting out damage into our squishies. And probably the biggest turning point was I think it was Eclipse and Mystic went in for a vision when we thought they cleared out, and they turned out to be in a bush, and we lost 2 players, and that turned the Baron fight.
Mm-hmm.
We were up in gold a majority of the game until I think at 2 points where we lost it at the very end.
Yep.
I think you were up gold literally until the end of the game. I don't think there was ever a time you were down. Like even after both those Barons, I think you were still up at least like 2K most of the time.
Mm-hmm. What about the decision to go really heavy AD in game 2? Were you guys worried that you didn't have enough AP to balance that out?
Definitely. Yeah, that's why we had the Gragas go full AP damage, and that means we didn't really have a full tank on our team.
Mm-hmm.
But we needed some range in the mid lane, and our mid laner likes to play ADCs, so Tristana was the pick he went with.
Yep.
Was the pick always supposed to be Tristana?
Not really. Most of our drafts come together in the last 5 minutes. So we played around getting Yasuo at the start, and then built our team around that.
So yeah, like I half expected like the Corki to come out, but then it got picked away. So I was wondering if that was like what the idea was to shore up like the magic damage, but guess not.
I forget what he was thinking if the other person picked Corki.
All right, so as it stands right now, you guys are in the 4th position spot. The only way that potentially you guys could be in a tiebreaker would be if KP 2-0's GBM tomorrow, and that would force the tiebreaker. So what are your thoughts if that happens and you have to go into a tiebreaker game for that last playoff spot?
I think that's definitely going to be an exciting game with a lot of stakes on the line. So it's going to be 2 teams trying their hardest. But hopefully GBM goes at least 1-1. But
they've done it before. They can do it again.
Do we know if GBM's getting streamed or not? Because
I don't think that's been decided yet.
I was just asking because if not, I would want to watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be a very interesting game if they do manage to 2-0 GBM with a lot of stakes on the line.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that definitely sets up a lot of drama potentially in the streaming division. Thank you, Cameron.
No problem.
I think we're going to call that a night. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Good day.